Jonathan is back with
Good
us
morning.
today.
Yes.
You said you'd come back.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
There's a
it's
lot
good
going
thing.
on.
Yep. Well, I enjoy seeing you all's work, which I know is a staff and a team that you lead. And I check in regularly. It might not be phone call, text, or anything else. It's like, oh, what they got going on now?
Yeah.
And I like seeing you, and I love having conversation with you. And now having conversation with you and the WBOK family of listeners, that's a wonderful thing. So the talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. We got a great show ahead for you. We've got, if it's Thursday, it's Congressman Troy Carter Day here at the Good Morning Show. So the Congressman will be joining us in a bit. And folks, doesn't seem to be a week where things aren't hot. So we're going to get into that with the Congressman as he joins us today. And we will also have Beverly McKenna, publisher of the New Orleans Tribune. And we're going to have Anitra Brown, editor of the New Orleans Tribune, because they've got some big news to share. And we will talk with them during the show as well. They're making a pivot. And, things keep changing, so they're changing too. So they're going to be with us to talk about that. And, of course, there's a lot of stuff in the news. And yesterday, one of the things that happened at City Hall with City Council was a number of Mayor Moreno's key team members went to City Council. Two of them had to be confirmed. The others went, I think, as a courtesy to say, you don't have to approve us. The new charter change doesn't say you have to approve us, but we're here and we understand the role of the council. So the city council, as one part of their first orders of business in this new council, heard and approved the nominations of Dr. Jennifer Avegno to serve as Director of Health Human Services Departments and Deputy Mayor, and Charlene Gibson to serve as City Council. Both of these because of charter change that council pushed for. So that means the certain key roles must come before council to be approved. These are two of them. There will be others that city council will have to approve. And in the case of the city council, the city attorney position, that role has changed now. So there's been a reporting to city council and the mayor with city attorney. But now this new city attorney and future attorneys will report to the mayor and city council, but not with the dotted line to city council. So kind of changes how city attorney operates because now in the charter, the city council has the right to bring somebody back on if the mayor fires the city attorney. So all they need is a majority vote, and that person keeps his or her job.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a thing.
It is. It is. Yeah, when those charter changes were on the ballot, this is why we got to vote and make sure that we understand how we're shifting power, right?
Right. And, that's such an important part of what you all do. You do a good job of making folks say, like, hey, this is coming up.
Yeah, this is what's going on.
Hey, this is what's coming up. Here's the summary.
Yep.
Learn more here. Go here, go there. Because this is what could happen or not happen, depending on the vote. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to get the date March 29th out of my head. But, hey, when people show up.
Yeah, they show up and they showed out. And, and we're going to have to do it again because they're bringing back some of these constitutional amendments in May of this year. So, it's
Yep.
interesting times.
Yep. So there were a couple of other people who went before City Council yesterday as well. Not all of these folks have to be approved by City Council based on the city charter change. But Chief Administrative Officer Joe Giarrusso, former councilman for District A, was there, as was Deputy Mayor Michael Harrison, former city police chief, also was there. And we also had Andrew Tuzola there. He has been the mayor's chief of staff when she was in her at-large city council role, and was a campaign strategist for getting her elected. Well, he takes on the new role of special counsel, did not have to have city council approval, but since he is overseeing intergovernmental affairs, communications, and the mayor's appointments to boards and commissions, which sometimes we forget that comes with the win.
It does.
That
It does.
comes with the win.
Yes.
And all of those are not like reported out as they're doing it all the time in the past. But hey, maybe it'll be different this time
Yep.
because that's a lot of power and responsibility with those boards and commissions.
No, it is. It is. They're making like I tell folks all the time, these folks are making decisions about your quality of life every single day. And again, at the local level, it's very personal. Like, it's not like this is something you're watching on TV. Like, this is happening in your community today, right now. So.
Right. Yep. So we got those folks. And as reported by Blake Patterson, the NORD and Revenue Estimating Conference appointments will be considered by City Council. And there will be other appointments that are required to be heard and considered, not approved, heard and considered
Gotcha.
by the City Council. The CAO Giarrusso will earn $325,000. Michael Harrison will earn $250,000, and Andrew will earn $170,000. So putting that information out. I know there's been a lot of banter about how much people are making as people are being laid off. And I get it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if it's you, Ms. Ashley, and the Power Coalition, you worked hard to build what you got.
No,
How
for
many
sure.
years has it been?
10 years old.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's some financial things, which of course you have a budget, you have to deal with the money all the time.
All the time.
But there's certain things it's like I can't do without.
Yep.
That you had to do without, like probably in year
Right.
1 or 2.
Exactly.
Because you didn't even have it.
Right, exactly.
But now that you've built this, you have to make some decisions along the way.
Absolutely.
Some of them stick and stay, and some of them it's like, well,
This wasn't it.
we got to pivot.
This didn't work. This didn't work.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to hear from Congressman Troy Carter in a minute. You're listening to WBLK Good Morning Show right here on WBLK 1230 AM with Will Sutton and Ashley Shelton. Before we go to break, I want you to hear what the congressman said at the Washington, D.C. Homeland Security Committee Democrat representatives at a news conference they had yesterday. So I want you to listen to this, and then after the break, we'll be talking to the congressman.
Renee Nicole Macklin Good was a mother of 3, a wife, a writer, a poet, a devoted Christian, a United States citizen. She wasn't a terrorist. She wasn't there to cause harm. She was exercising what we often encourage people to do. If you see an injustice, say something. If you see an injustice, do something. Many would say that she was a hero because she saw an injustice and she didn't retreat to the comfort of her home. In fact, she put herself in harm's way after dropping her baby off to school, as many of us do. She stood up for the American value. She stood up for free speech, for protection under the law. And she paid the ultimate price.
Okay. That's what the congressman had, part of what the congressman had to say yesterday at the news conference in Washington, D.C. So you're going to have an opportunity momentarily to hear from him live right here on the Good Morning Show at WBOK, 12:30 a.m. And that'll be up next. I'm Will Sutton with Ashley Shelton. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. A no-confidence vote from the Firefighters Union. They lost faith in the leadership of Fire Department Superintendent Roman Nelson. The union claims a pattern of so-called administrative abuse, pointing to the recent termination of 4 firefighters who were out on an injured leave. The union says the vote is more symbolic in their way of sending a message to city leaders about their concerns. Moreno's team says they do not have the details of the meeting and have not yet heard from the union. Mayor Helena Moreno's team is making key changes to try to fix a more than $200 million budget deficit after taking office just days ago. CAO and former councilman Joe Geruso revealed that the budget for this year's upcoming Mardi Gras parade will be significantly less than last year's event. Geruso says last year's ball cost the city $240,000. He says this year's budget is $40,000. Bringing students, staff, and community members together, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Charter School will host its annual Peace March and Rally today. The Peace March will start at 12:15 and it will take place along Lamanche Street, North Roman Street, and Fats Domino Avenue. Selected students will represent their grade levels and will be accompanied by the school's marching units and a guest jazz band. There's also several events happening on Martin Luther King Jr. Day as well on Monday. The MLK Freedom March starts at 11 a.m. at Congo Square, and all of it happening in our Community Day of Service is happening across the city to mark Mayor Helena Moreno's inauguration as well. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
After a decent day on Wednesday, we're expecting a big temperature drop for today. Highs will only make it to 51 to 54 degrees. So expect chilly conditions, also breezy throughout the day, so temperatures feeling much colder than what it actually is. Lows for tonight, 28 to 37, so another chilly one. And then highs for Friday back into the 60s. We are watching for a possible wintry mix Saturday night into Sunday. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Tired of the impersonal one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funniest story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
Attention parents, the Willow School, an A-rated National Blue Ribbon School in partnership with Tulane University, is now accepting applications for grades K through 12. Willow offers a nationally renowned arts integrated curriculum, top science and engineering program, and competitive athletic program. The Willow School is the highest performing K through 12 school in the state. The Willow School, where minds soar and creativity flourishes. Learn more about the application process at willowschoolnola.org today.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton. I'm here with Ashley Shelton, having a good conversation. I hope you're enjoying the conversation, getting some news and information that you are finding enlightening, or a little bit of what you didn't know. I've got to tell you that you're definitely going to hear some stuff you didn't know after we talk to the congressman, because I got Ashley Shelton here. So we're going to talk special election.
Yep.
For sure. We're going to talk Verizon outage, but the special election stuff, because y'all need to tune up and get ready. Right now, we're going into conversation with Congressman Troy Carter. Good morning, Congressman. You're on with Will Sutton and Ashley Shelton.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Ashley. Great to be with you guys this morning. Always good to be on WBOK to share good news with the people.
Yes.
Well, it's certainly happy. I'm happy to be able to have you share the good news, but sometimes the good news in the context of bad stuff that's happening, but the good news is how we might look at it with some context and some action. And you were a part of a Democratic representatives from the Homeland Security Committee a news conference yesterday. We played part of what you said yesterday, but here we have an opportunity to hear from you more about that Renee Good situation in ICE, because even after you all did that, we had yet another situation that happened with the shooting in Minneapolis.
Well, it's demonstrative of the fact that this administration, this Secretary of Homeland Security, is completely unhinged, out of control, totally void of any constitutionality or any rule of law. And that's why we must continue to speak out. That's why we must continue to build our forces to demonstrate that we're not going to just sit back and take this. Listen, you may have the power, you may have the votes, but we have our voices, and we're going to continue to mobilize. We're going to continue to have press conferences like we had yesterday. We're going to continue to have hearings like we're going to have in New Orleans, and we're going to have in Minneapolis next week. We're going to continue to force the issue and keep the lights on. The press may not want to always give it to us, but we're going to keep pushing it. That's why BOK becomes so important, to have unfettered access. And as you mentioned, sometimes the good news isn't so good, but we have to have the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we have to always be informed. My commitment is to always bring it to you as it is, to bring you the information, whether it's good, bad, or other. When we are armed with the facts, when we're armed with the information, we are better served. So what you saw yesterday at that press conference was demonstrative of the fact that we're calling out this president. We're calling out this vice president. We're calling out this Secretary of Homeland Security, who called Ms. Good a domestic terrorist. Moments after the accident happened, with no information, with no briefing, with no background, which demonstrates that what they're really doing is trying to flood the zone with their own lies to justify their illegal actions, which are grossly unconstitutional.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you all are staying on top of that, because in a matter of minutes, as the Renee Good situation was reported, people were responding in anger, and not just in Minneapolis. It quickly, I mean, that's one of the great things about the internet and social media. There's some
nothing
news
small
that,
anymore.
yeah, that's some news that is not exclusive to legacy media and news platforms, and so you can get information, if not news, pretty quickly. And people were angry. They continue to be angry. And then as a number of other incidents are reported, people have more reason to be angry. So, Congressman, it doesn't seem to stop. We got somebody dead.
Yeah.
We have other people shot. We have other people injured. What can be done, and what can we do?
Well, what can be done is exactly what we're doing, and then some. We can continue to use forums like you, BOK, and Ashley, and the resources that you have, and the incredible work you do in the community, not just on Thursday morning, but every day, to continue to organize, mobilize, recognize who the enemies are, and to use our voices. You know, listen, we don't have the luxury of saying, oh, we don't have enough votes in Congress, therefore we're just going to roll over and wait until we do. No, we wake up every single day and we throw paint at the wall all day long trying to find something to make it stick. The votes are one way to get things done, but we beat them procedurally. They tried to block the Epstein files. We did a discharge petition. We advanced and passed that measure on to the Senate. When they tried to block the extension of the ACA tax credits, we advanced and moved around them, pulled 17 of their own members to join with us, and we advanced the extension of the ACA tax credits. They tried to block billions of dollars in mental health services. I led a combination of 100 members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, to write a letter. We got those $2 billion reversed. We just got that word this morning. Listen, you're hearing that first on WBOK. We just got that information that they're reversing the action of the $2 billion they're removing from critical issues for mental health.
Yeah.
So we have to
Yeah,
continue.
no, I saw that.
We have to continue to push and use our voices. Listen, it takes all hands on deck. It's a 24/7 operation. We work our tails off around the clock, but it's making a difference. We're having to work a hell of a lot harder because we don't have the votes, but you don't have to quit just because you don't have the votes. You got to be smarter. You got to work harder. You got to fight harder. And the same thing with this trash is going on with the National Guard and with ICE. Listen, we fought hard. They're getting out of Louisiana because we've demonstrated there's no reason for you to be here. And we're going to continue pushing for them to get out of every American city, because this is nothing more than a president who wants to create a special police force, just like Nazi Germany in 1933, 1934. We're not going to sit back and let you have America turn into your Nazi Germany playground. But it's going to take, as I've said for years now, 3 C's: Congress, courts, and community. That's the winning formula, and that's what we're going to continue to do. We're not just going to be angry for angry's sake. We're going to be angry with action driven behind it. We're going to not put ourselves in harm's way and give them a reason to shoot or beat us. We're going to do it peacefully. We're going to do it carefully. We're going to do it organized, and we're going to keep winning.
Well, Congressman, I know you're busy and you keep up with quite a number of things, but one of the things that happened with ICE in different parts of the country is in Georgia, for instance, not long ago, they went to a construction site of a Hyundai battery plant and arrested more than 300 South Korean subcontractors, people working for a living, working for the construction company, people working to do something good for that part of Georgia. Well, yesterday, you may or may not have heard this, but there were federal agents of some kind at the Meta building complex, the AI data center, with more than 2,000 acres of Richland Parish farmland. They were on the scene at that construction site in Louisiana. And the local law enforcement said, we know somebody's there. We don't know if they're ICE, FBI, or who.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous. Which here's the irony of the president's comments. He said, we're going to come in and we're going to get the murderers, the rapists, the worst of the worst. We're gonna get those people who are wreaking havoc in our community, who are breaking laws and killing people, the drug dealers and murderers. We're gonna send them back. Heretofore, he's gone after housewives and people working in their yards and little old ladies and people who've been here for 40 years, productive, trying to go through the process to become citizens. He's gone to Meta. He's gone to Hyundai. Heck, they went to Kenner and pulled people off the rooftop who were fixing a roof. These people are working.
Yeah, no.
These are not the ones that you say that you're supposedly going to get. Listen, if you're going to go get the rapists, the murderers, the really bad, go get them. We're all for that. But when you are unilaterally just picking people because of the way they look, you don't know anything about them, you're violating their rights. That's not going to happen. Not in America. We're not going to sit back and take that. We've been through that. We've been through the Edmund Pettus Bridge. We've been through having dogs sacked on us. We've been through beatings and being spat on. We're not going back to that. So that's why we have to continue to energize, mobilize, and be educated. You know, every day we see another story of this attempted coup d'etat, if you will, from this president who wants to be a dictator. Just yesterday, the president is touring a plant. Someone heckles him, and he flips the bird and mouths F you to them. Man, listen, the president of the United States. Yeah. When are people going to get outraged by this?
I think
Republicans, when are you going to wake up and see this guy is not well?
No, I totally agree. And I think that, my question, I think people are outraged. And I think that, my question is what are some of the things that the average citizen, everyday person can do to speak out? Because I think too, like we're in this weird vacuum where sometimes media is telling the story, sometimes they're not. We're invading Iran because they're killing people, but we're killing people right here in America.
We're also supposedly killing drug dealers and capturing drug dealers while we're also pardoning some of the worst drug dealers ever known to man. The president of the United States pardons one of the worst drug dealers, the biggest drug dealers in the world. You pardon him. And then you go after Maduro and you say because he's a drug dealer. You can't make this stuff up.
No,
These guys have no rhyme or reason to their actions other than they're building a loyal group of gangsters to owe this president something. And they're marshaling the troops of the worst of the worst. You have an insurrection on the nation's capital where people died, where the capital physically and literally and figuratively was defiled. And the president of the United States pardoned every single one of them.
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up.
No.
So let me just ask you a question because Ashley makes a very good point.
Sure.
What can we do? Ashley, do just what you do every day, my friend, and I appreciate what you do every day. Continue to organize. Continue to, however small the voice A collective drip of water will take down a building. A collective tap on the wall will knock it down. We have to keep speaking out in our fraternities, in our churches, at our kitchen tables, on our social media, and any group that we're in. We've got to just keep talking about it. And that noise will become deafening. Every little tap becomes a thump. Every little thump becomes a bump. And the bump will take it down. We just have to be consistent, and we cannot get tired.
Well, closer to home, Congressman, again, I know you're taking care of a lot of things, but we now have a report that a man drowned, a Honduran drowned in Hopedale in St. Bernard Parish as he was attempting to escape to avoid 4 U.S. Coast Guard agents who jumped out as they were doing their jobs fishing, jumped out with black vests, oystermen. And, of course, you know how rich
critical
that area
is, right?
is. And it's hard work.
Yeah.
But it's very important work and very important to the economic vitality of Louisiana.
Absolutely.
And so they jump out of nowhere, and they're chasing these people. Well, this particular guy could not swim.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get away, and he ends up drowning in St. Bernard.
So sad.
Again, demonstrative of the irony of what this president claimed his immigration issues were. They were going to go after the murderers, the rapists, the worst of the worst. But they're arresting people working in their yards. They're arresting people on rooftops fixing roofs. They're arresting people in meta plants. They're arresting fishermen who are out providing one of the most significant industries that we have in Louisiana that supplies seafood to the entire world. And you're going after someone. Listen, there should be a path to citizenship. There is one. We need to reform it and make it transparent and plain. In the meantime, you don't go after, if you claim you're going after the worst of the worst, now you cost another death in an industry that will undoubtedly reverberate, because guess what's happening? Prices of eggs and rice are going to go up because you don't have people to farm it anymore. The price of goods and services are going to go up because you are depleting the workforce, instead of recognizing that many of these people, by the way, have in fact work visas.
Congressman.
And this person may have had a work visa, but guess what's happening? They're terrified. So they run, and because they know that having the proper paperwork doesn't matter, because people are being deported even with paperwork. Hell, people who are U.S. citizens are being detained.
Well, no, there was a video of these 2 young men who were Latino that were pulled out of a Target.
Yes.
That were U.S. citizens and beaten. And, and to see this young man after, he was finally let go, they just literally threw him out of the truck. Right? After they realized he was a citizen. I mean, and to see those tears, like, this is terror. This isn't just, this isn't just that, like they're pulling people off of roofs and from their jobs. This is actually the beatings, all this morning, we've been watching how they've been pushing people and stomping people and doing all of this stuff. And to protesters who are U.S. citizens, to anyone that gets in their way of their goal, and they're getting it wrong. You're pulling U.S. citizens out of their jobs and beating them.
They simply don't care. And if you saw Stephen Miller, the minion behind all of this that whispers in the president's ear, he said on the news last night, if anyone touches an ICE agent, if anyone interferes with an ICE agent, they will have the wrath of the federal government against them. What they're doing is they are empowering them to be bullies. They're empowering
it's an occupation.
Terrorists. They're giving them the power and encouraging them to violate individual rights. The Supreme Court has to step in. They have to recognize, and the restoration of our 3 separate but co-equal branches of government is a must.
Yeah.
Our Republican brothers and sisters cannot continue to be complicit. The Supreme Court cannot continue to be complicit. You cannot sit back and watch this president tear our country down, tear our national and international relations apart, dismantle and disman NATO. It is putting Americans at risk at home and abroad. We have to continue. This is our civil rights moment. This is our 1960s moment. This is where we have to ask the question, where were you when all this was going on? And I suggest everyone who's listening has a role to play, however big, however small. We have to keep fighting against it. I will spend every fiber of who I am fighting this every single day of my life to make sure that when history is reflected, we were doing the right thing, that we reverse this evil action from this president. Do not accept this as normal. We will not let him normalize the behaviors that he's trying to make normal. They're not normal, they're wrong, and we're going to stop him.
Congressman, I'm glad we have you on at this very moment because we've got some breaking news just came across the Associated Press minutes ago. And I'm just going to read the top of this so you can hear it now, and then you can respond. President Donald Trump on Thursday threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, allowing him to deploy troops as protests against immigration and customs enforcement persist in Minneapolis. Trump made the threat after a federal officer shot a man in the leg in Minneapolis on Wednesday after being attacked with a shovel and broom handle.
This is exactly what this president wants. This is exactly what this president wants. This is what it's all about. This is what I've been saying, and many others have been saying. The whole notion of creating civil unrest, the whole notion of forcing the powder keg to explode is to give him the power to have martial law, to give him the power to take over our local police departments. This is all a very concerted effort to create a police state, to make him the head of the world. Then he will begin his slow move toward Nazi Germany in 1933, 1934, where he dismantles government, dismantles our military, and takes over. Listen, this is not conspiracy theory. If you start adding and connecting the dots, the dismantling of our system of laws, our rule of law.
But, I mean, it's the 14th Amendment, the Constitution.
Bragging that he controls the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. Who does that? He stood next to our Speaker, Mike Johnson, and said, I am the President and the Speaker of the House.
It's crazy.
These things let's not be foolish. Let's not stick our head in the sand and say this can't happen. History has an ugly way of repeating itself if we are not adroit students. This man is trying to repeat history and take it a step further. And what you see in Minneapolis is what he wants to have happen all over the country.
Congressman, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's look at another troubling issue, what's happening with the FCC Chairman, Carr, and give us some insight about what we're watching happen with an independent operation under Trump. So we'll get to that right after the break with our Congressman, Troy Carter. This is Will Sutton and Ashley Shelton right here on the Good Morning Show. You're listening to WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. The Magnificent Seven, led by NVIDIA, have been dominating conversations on Wall Street for a while now. But Black-owned and led Ariel Investments is finding value flying under the radar with smaller companies. Here's Ariel Investments founder, chairman, and CEO, John Rogers.
We're still finding ideas in the small value space. You know, they really have been ignored. They're kind of the ugly ducklings when you compare it to NVIDIA and Apple and all these giant, exciting growth stories. You know, the little mundane businesses that we've invested in for 42 years just seem particularly orphaned these days. So we're seeing great ideas and excited to be doing the research. I think there's real opportunity for small value.
Ariel Investments, John Rogers speaking to Bloomberg there. The firm's flagship Ariel Fund focuses entirely on small and mid-cap stocks. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Davon, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
Experience 2 nights of genre-blending music with the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation's Jazz and Heritage Concert Series, presented by Goldfarb Financial, happening at the George and Joyce Wing Jazz and Heritage Center in New Orleans. See jazz vocalist Ingrid Lucia and the Good Troublemakers on Friday, January 16th at 8 p.m. Then, on Saturday, the 17th at 8 p.m., catch pianist-composer Lawrence Seabrist, Estralia Banda, with special guests Tommy Lowry and Bart Plateau. Expect a thrilling mix of jazz, classical, Afro-Cuban funk, and more. Tickets are $10 and available at jazzandheritage.org.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been listening since we've been on at the 7 o'clock hour, coming up on the 8 o'clock hour soon, but we still got time with Congressman Troy Carter. I am Will Sutton. With me is Ashley Shelton, and before the break, Congressman mentioned that there's some stuff going on with the Federal Communications Commission and a guy named Brendan Carr. Can you fill us in?
Yeah, yesterday in Energy and Commerce Committee, which I serve, we had the FCC, Federal Communications Commission chairman before our committee, and I had an opportunity to question him face to face. As you recall, this is the one that went after Jimmy Kimmel and forced a shutdown of his popular late night TV show because they didn't like the fact that he criticized or made jokes about the president. Well, tough. Free speech, First Amendment gives you the right to say what you want.
Absolutely.
And you can make jokes about whoever you want. This is not some dictatorship. This is not some third world country. In America, we have the First Amendment, freedom of speech. And I took him to task. I asked him. I said, there was a time, Mr. Commissioner, at one point that it appeared that you believed in the First Amendment. It appeared that you had the respect and understood the importance of the framers' edict when they created a First Amendment to make sure that people had the right to free speech. But somewhere along the line, under your leadership, FCC has recklessly abandoned its core principle to operate as an independent agency. Instead, you've weaponized it. You've used it as a power to bully news organizations, to bully individuals, radio stations who have FCC licenses, that if you post certain things that will threaten your license. ABC, many of them have capitulated and folded and paid him money in order to not have their licenses threatened. This is not America. This is not how we operate, and we have to fight these attempts to tamp down democracy and free speech everywhere we can. So we had him on the ropes. He was unable to answer these questions and fumbled throughout all of the discussions. And this is another example of why we must hold these people accountable. Speak truth to power. Brendan Carr sat there and had to answer the tough questions, and this is the power of congressional hearings. Bringing these people to the table and forcing them while the cameras are rolling to talk about the issues that are important. And in this case, making sure that the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC as more commonly known as, is not weaponized to tamp down or to silence the free speech of the media. Listen, WBOK is powerful because it is able to speak the truth. AM radio stations must be protected because they're the band that gives us the opportunity to have the local reach. Small African-American minority-owned radio stations and television stations and newspapers and news magazines must be protected. We cannot allow them to be trampled and stumped out so we have only one central media source owned by the same people controlling the news, controlling the airwaves with propaganda and foolishness like you see in foreign countries. This is America. We're going to continue to fight for it. That's why I'm so proud and honored to spend this hour every week with WBOK and all of our listening audience to have an opportunity to have a candid, honest discussion, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's going on in our country.
Well, one more thing on the FCC situation, Congressman, when he also visited a Senate committee yesterday, and over there he told senators that the FCC is, quote unquote, not formally independent, close quote. Not formally independent.
After previously saying that it is independent. And when it was created to be independent of politics, independent of any president, independent of any power other than doing what is right and in regards of honoring and protecting free speech, not controlling programming, not controlling what you say, how you say it, but making sure that we have the proper rules and regulations as relates to federal communications, not on programming, not can you have someone like Jimmy Kimmel have the audacity to tell a joke about the president. Well, hey, listen, like it or not, the president is a joke. Anybody's a joke who sits around and does the things that this guy does to the American people. Anybody who walks through a plant with workers and flips the bird and mouths F you to them is a joke. And if you don't like being a joke, stop being one.
Well, they took another step yesterday, and they removed the word independent from the FCC website. So if somebody on your team has an opportunity to take a look at that, you're not going to see the word independent as of yesterday.
That came up in our committee hearing yesterday.
Yeah.
Someone asked about that, and he fumbled and danced all around and tried to offer an explanation of what that means, that it's independent from X, Y. It was nothing but word salad, trying to justify the removal of the word independent.
Yeah.
When in fact he's already said he's beholden to the president. And that is directly the opposite of what the FCC was established to be. Not at the whim of any president. Just like the Supreme Court is not supposed to be at the whim of any president, like the Congress, House, and Senate is not supposed to be at the whim of any president. But this president has been pedaling very fast to control all facets of government.
Well, as always, Congressman, it's wonderful to have you on to talk with our family of WBOK listeners. And I know you got a lot of stuff. You've shared quite a number of important pieces of information and things to watch for. And we're going to focus on that third C and need to watch and speak and act.
Yep.
Because there might not be a majority in the House or the Senate or in the state of Louisiana legislature. But
we're not.
We got
we're
our
not going to
voices.
quit. We're going to continue to use our voices. And God bless WBOK. God bless you, Ashley. God bless you. We'll keep doing great work, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
All right. Take
Sounds
care.
great. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. All right, folks, we're going on the break. This is the Good Morning Show. We just had a great conversation with Congressman Troy Carter. I'm Will Sutton with Ashley Shelton. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Thousands of nurses in New York City remain on strike for a fourth day, demanding higher pay, better benefits, and improved working conditions.
The staff that has been brought in to replace us is not properly trained to handle the level of emergencies that we encounter.
Temporary nurses are filling in, and no new talks are scheduled. Mike Tomlin is stepping down as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach after 19 seasons. Tomlin won a Super Bowl in his second year, only the second black head coach to do so, and never had a losing season, finishing with 201 wins. And Chris Brown's $500 million lawsuit over a documentary about his alleged violent past has been dismissed. A judge ruled producers of Investigation Discovery's Chris Brown: A History of Violence followed journalistic standards. Brown claims the film was full of lies. Get BIN News now, on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 AM. I am Will Sutton, and with me is Ashley Shelton from the Power Coalition.
Good morning. Good morning.
And taking on new role for now, and see if we can keep some things going. I'm trying, folks. I'm trying. Fabulous to have Ashley Shelton with us. In this 8 o'clock hour, we are going to shortly talk about what the heck happened yesterday with a lot of us not being able to make calls or send texts or access data, and what was going on in that world. And we will talk a bit about that. And then we're going to spend some time on the upcoming February 7th special elections in New Orleans. So not everybody in New Orleans will be voting, but these are critical decisions. And only the people who get out and vote will decide who will represent State Representative of District 97, State Representative District 100, and State Senate District number 3. So be sure to stay tuned. Right now, I want to tell you that, I am one of the victims yesterday. I feel like I have important work, and I have important connections. I was doing some work calls and work messaging, and kept coming up. SOS, call failed.
Yeah.
Call failed, time after time. Message not delivered. It was like, okay, well, wait. All right, so if this is my phone knows I contact my wife every day and not one time a day. So, okay, certainly that must work.
Right.
No.
So,
sister had no idea. It's like, what's going on?
Right. No, it was across the country. It was 1 million people that literally, I had conference calls. We had to use Signal and some of the other web-based services to try to connect with people. And then so many people didn't know what was happening. So they didn't know you didn't know I was trying to contact you. And I didn't know why you weren't getting my messages. Until it became a developing story, and I was like, "Oh, the satellite's down."
Yeah, so I didn't know until nighttime, and one media outlet, ABC World News Tonight, delivered this report.
Impacting more than 1 million Verizon Wireless customers across the country. From New York City to Atlanta, Charlotte to Houston and beyond, who or what is behind this? Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, tonight.
Tonight, tens of thousands of Verizon Wireless customers can't make a phone call after a nationwide outage affecting voice and data service.
There's like a massive Verizon outage. My phone isn't working. My sister's phone isn't working.
Emergency alerts going out on social media urging those without service to find a different way to reach 911. In the last 24 hours, more than 1 million Verizon customers in New York, Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, and elsewhere reported no service, seeing SOS instead of network bars on the corner of their phones. The outage appeared to reach its peak just after noon today. Verizon said, "We know this is a huge inconvenience," adding, "We understand the impact this has on your day and remain committed to resolving this as quickly as possible." Verizon has not said what caused the outage, but David, law enforcement sources are telling us so far it does not appear to be the result of a cyber attack, rather a problem with a server in New Jersey. David?
Aaron Katursky on this. Thank you, Aaron.
Well, so that news was developing through the day, but a lot of people had no idea what was happening. I was one of those folks, and I didn't know until nighttime. And then it's like, well, later in the evening, some things were better. I could do this, I could do that, but I still couldn't do some
full
other
function,
things.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's back. It's back. And I wake up. It ain't back.
Right.
It is not back. It is better, but there are things
You don't have full
I
functionality.
can't
Yep.
do.
No, it's crazy.
And it reminds me that, boy, we've changed in this world so much that we rely on this technology.
It's so true.
I
So
mean,
true.
I don't have a landline phone.
Well, and then think about this, because the contacts are all in your phone. Like, I have to force myself to memorize the key phone numbers because, what happens? You can't make a call and you got to go.
Yeah.
Gotta go make a call on the landline.
Just yesterday, I told somebody, I got you in my contacts. I don't understand why you can't get through.
Right.
It's like, I can't call you.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
that's what it ended up being.
It's
like he said, well, I called you 2 or 3 times 2 weeks ago, which when the outage was not
happening.
happening. And I said, well, that one's on me.
But yesterday. I can't be responsible.
No. So that was a heck of a thing. And Verizon, if you're listening, it's just one customer. But you messed up my day yesterday.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to get some work and family and couple time kinds of things done at the times that I desired to get them done because you or someone you work with apparently at a data center in New Jersey, a server in New Jersey wasn't working. It doesn't seem like it's back yet. I wonder how many of you all had that same problem. The talk line is 504-582-9422. Right now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're talking the special elections in the city of New Orleans. There were some endorsements last night. Other endorsements are rolling out, and other endorsements will be coming. How much do the endorsements matter to you? But what are we really talking about? Well, I've got Ashley Shelton right here, and she's going to clue us in with some information that you definitely should know. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. A no-confidence vote from the Firefighters Union. They lost faith in the leadership of Fire Department Superintendent Roman Nelson. The union claims a pattern of so-called administrative abuse, pointing to the recent termination of 4 firefighters who were out on an injured leave. The union says the vote is more symbolic in their way of sending a message to city leaders about their concerns. Moreno's team says they do not have the details of the meeting and have not yet heard from the union. Mayor Helena Moreno's team is making key changes to try to fix a more than $200 million budget deficit after taking office just days ago. CAO and former councilman Joe Geruso revealed that the budget for this year's upcoming Mardi Gras parade will be significantly less than last year's event. Geruso says last year's ball cost the city $240,000. He says this year's budget is $40,000. Bringing students, staff, and community members together, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Charter School will host its annual Peace March and Rally today. The Peace March will start at 12:15 and it will take place along LaManche Street, North Roman Street, and Fats Domino Avenue. Selected students will represent their grade levels and will be accompanied by the school's marching units and a guest jazz band. There's also several events happening on Martin Luther King Jr. Day as well on Monday. The MLK Freedom March starts at 11 a.m. at Congo Square, and all of it happening in our Community Day of Service is happening across the city to mark Mayor Helena Moreno's inauguration as well. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK.
Hi, I'm Leo Jackson, host of Sunday Gospel here every Sunday morning, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 o'clock till 2 p.m. You don't want to miss this move of God. It happens only on WBOK. You listen to all day long.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. If you've been with us, great conversation with Troy Carter this morning, and we gave you some info and personal insights about the Verizon outage that hit 1 million people, including me. But the thing is about an outage like that, if you're a Verizon customer, it affects you directly. But if you're not, and you're on another server, you can't reach the people
right,
who are using Verizon.
Right. I had to,
So
like I said,
it's not just 1 million people
no,
that
it's true.
this
It's true.
affected.
Right. There was so much that I couldn't get done because two of the people I needed to talk to, I couldn't get in touch with.
Right.
And so we're using, apps like Signal, to try to communicate with each other. It's crazy.
Absolutely,
It's crazy.
absolutely. Well, as I get information from different groups and organizations that are making endorsements, I will not speak of an endorsement unless I have information about each of the races.
Mm-hmm.
So a candidate saying, "I got this endorsement," I'm not going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I hear the list,
Right.
and I have a list that can be confirmed, then I will
Share
mention
that out. Yeah.
But let me remind you that we have a special election in city of New Orleans with 3 legislative seats. In the state Senate 3rd district, the candidates are Ken Barnes, Sidney Bartholomew II, John Johnson, Jad Lugua. And if for the 97th state rep district, the candidates are Eugene Green and Ed Murray. And in the state rep district 100, the candidates are Patricia Boyd Robinson, Dana Henry, and Aisha Kelly, Kenya Rounds, and Candace Taylor. So want to make sure that you're aware of who's running and aware of these districts. Particularly if you live in one of the districts, but even if you don't, these are 3 important seats out of the city of New Orleans. But those seats are important to people outside of New Orleans because it matters who's in these seats and what roles they can play. So Ashley has been kind enough to make sure we get more educated about what's going on with these districts. I will tell you that the Orleans Parish Democratic Executive Committee did make 3 endorsements last night. In the state Senate race, they endorsed Attorney Ken Barnes. And in the state Rep 97th race, they endorsed Ed Murray. And in the state Rep 100 race, they endorsed Kenya Rounds. So that's from OPDEC. As I said, for anybody with these different organizations, you let me know, get in touch with me, give me a complete list, and I'll perhaps mention that. But right now, Ashley, what are we looking at with
the specials?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I was kind of looking at trying to get all the data for these seats. What's really crazy is that in 2023, none of these seats had challengers. And so Bowie, Willard, and, Jason, they walked back into their seats. And so, it's been a while, right? Since we've had to actually vote on these seats because in 2023, they had no challengers. And so now as we look at the special, it speaks, one, to how loved our former members of the state legislature were. But these specials become really important because, one, we talked about yesterday, leadership matters. And the folks that we're losing were key leaders in so many pieces of the work that we were moving. And then also, too, I don't think it's a secret that this governor's been a little adversarial to New Orleans. And so it matters that you have good leaders that will stand up for what matters in New Orleans. Now, for the special, we know that usually we're looking at about a 16 to 20% turnout for a special election. And, and we're going to need folks to show up because the next leaders they're going to be in the legislature, and freshmen or not, we're going to need those voices to be able to move some of the critical, legislation that we know is important to New Orleans, and whether it's some criminal justice or housing, or, we're even talking about, working with the Black Caucus to introduce the State Voting Rights Act, some really powerful legislation that has to be able to move. And we need the leadership to do it. So we know January 17th is the last day to register online. So if you are not a registered voter, you have until the 17th, 2 more days to be able to go online and register. But this is going to be a really critical, election, and it matters who we have representing us. And so I encourage folks to engage and come on out. And, in addition to these seats, there are going to be some other things that are also on the ballot, but February 7th is going to be a big day, so it'll be important. And then, we follow that election and go almost directly into legislative session in March. So it matters that not only we get these folks elected, but then, do the work of meeting them and engaging with them about what's important.
So with these 3 seats, and you say special elections generally draw 16 to 20% of the registered voters, is there anything that might be done by a candidate or candidates or people who aren't candidates to push it closer to 20 or 50%, which really hasn't happened, I don't think.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that, folks, like we're trying to create a few venues where folks can actually meet the candidates. I think that we need some more candidate forums so that folks can actually get to know these candidates and, kind of put names with faces. And also, too, like what's their platform? What do they care about? What are the issues they want to champion? And what are what are they going to be fighting for in terms of, New Orleans? And so for me, it's about how do we create more spaces where folks can actually engage with these candidates so that we can increase voter turnout because they feel like they've had an opportunity to understand, who each of the candidates are and then how they show up and who they want to vote for.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Hopefully folks are listening, and those who are listening will take care of your own business. One of the things I'll say is don't assume that you're a registered voter.
Yeah, no. I mean, folks are finding out some crazy things,
if you
right?
haven't voted in whatever election for whatever time, or you have moved or went away and came back, and there are all kinds of reasons that you might not be a registered voter.
Well, and then too, I mean, there are purges do happen too, and so sometimes people get pushed off the rolls by accident, and so you just need to know your status. You need to, you can go on the Secretary of State's website and look up whether or not you're still included as a registered voter in the state of Louisiana, and so it becomes really important to check that. And then too, if you've updated your driver's license, you had a birthday, had to renew your license. Sometimes too, that'll change your party. So sometimes they'll have you as undecided or immediate, or sometimes if you just send in the little card that they send you, sometimes it'll change. So you're still registered, but then it changes whether you show up as a Democrat or an independent. And so, you gotta check on these things because it matters, and it matters even more now because it won't be an issue for this election. But in May, we're looking at closed primaries, and so how you engage in those primaries, it matters how you register.
So even if you're a regular voter, how you choose to vote in May is going to be different.
Yep.
Because it won't be the same because of the closed primaries.
Yes, yes. And there are a lot of independents in Louisiana, and independents will have to choose. They will have to choose what primary they want to vote in. And so there's a whole new system. And so we're working on some graphics and, creating a couple of, educational forums so that we can actually get people prepared for what is this going to look like? Because I think these, the races that are now going to be primaried are some of the most critical seats in our community. I mean, we got Supreme Court, we've got PSC, and those folks are making key decisions about our lives and what happens in our communities.
Yep.
And so,
well, stay tuned, folks.
Yep, February 7th.
Make sure that you are paying attention even if you're not in one of those districts, pay attention.
Yep.
Because it's going to matter in a very short period of time with legislative session coming up and with closed primaries coming up and a lot of things that are happening nationally are having an impact on this state. And we need legislators who, I'm going to use the word, who are woke. Yeah.
Right. Woke and they care and they're going to do the work.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It is 8:25 a.m. And we're going to take a break right now. But before we do, folks, if you're on your way to work or going to the community center to play spades, or you're going to your doctor's appointment, wherever you're going to work, please be safe. Our kiddos are still on their way to school. School zones speed limits of 20 miles per hour still in effect until 9 a.m. Be careful. Protect yourself. Watch those who are around you. Watch out for the crazy drivers, because I know that's not you. But you know, put the phone down. Take care of the makeup, and guys, take care of those pretty beards in the house.
Right.
Or go to the bathroom when you get to work. You know, because any kind of slip, because some of these kiddos, they looking at their phone.
Yep, they looking
and
down.
that's definitely true of high schoolers. But I've been noticing, like, some elementary school kids got their own phone. It's like, I wouldn't do that as a parent, but they got phones too.
Yeah.
So watch out for them.
And, you know,
all right, it's 8:27. When we come back, we'll be talking with Beverly McKenna and Anitra Brown, talking about the New Orleans Tribune and some big news that they have to share. They are pivoting, folks, and we're going to hear all about that. You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
After a decent day on Wednesday, we're expecting a big temperature drop for today. Highs will only make it to 51 to 54 degrees. So expect chilly conditions, also breezy throughout the day, so temperatures feeling much colder than what it actually is. Lows for tonight, 28 to 37. So another chilly one, and then highs for Friday back into the 60s. We are watching for a possible wintry mix Saturday night into Sunday. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
To a darkened, sinful world comes redemption. Oh, what a gift of salvation. When Jesus returns, will he find faithers on earth? For the answer to this mind-boggling question, tune into FIJTC, Faithers in the Jesus Christ, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. on WBOK. Follow us on Facebook at FIJTC Write-Ups and on Instagram at FIJTC 420s.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026, The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK's Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton with Ashley Shelton. What good information and context for our upcoming special elections.
Yes.
Very, very important. Just because it's not for president or governor or U.S. senator, that doesn't mean
We still
it's not
need
important.
representation.
I'm just a guess, but you've probably gone through your life in the last 12 to 14 months, and you probably have not seen President Trump at the gas station or the grocery store or hanging out on Bayou Road.
Right.
You probably haven't seen Jeffrey Landry. That would not be something.
Right,
You know,
right.
Have
No,
Jeff
that's
Landry come out, but you probably haven't. But these are people you can see and talk to and say, if you're putting yourself up for public service, I have a concern.
Right.
What you going to do? Let me hear what you got to say about this. So if they are seeking your vote, then whoever wins, they put themselves in a position where we need to say what's on our mind. It might be a question. It might not you're pissed off. It might be a question. What about this?
Mm-hmm.
What about that? In my community, we need this. How do we do about that? That's why they're there. And if you don't want to do that, don't run.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Don't run.
Yep.
Well, very happy to have Beverly McKenna, publisher of the New Orleans Tribune, with us. And they have some big news that is happening. And just for context, I'm going to ask Ashley, just give us 30 to 40 seconds about what you were reading about the New Orleans Tribune.
Yeah.
Just recently.
Yeah, no.
Not connected to this.
Right. Yeah. But I've been reading this book on Reconstruction and the role of Black legislators during Reconstruction. And one of the key pieces of like how they organized and moved people was using the New Orleans Tribune to make sure that people were informed, they knew what was going on, and to be able to assemble people in multiple assemblies to be able to decide what they wanted and to have what voice and what leadership they wanted. And so really powerful, just to kind of look back and see the role that media really does play in our lives. And from 1865 on.
I would
Yep.
like to.
And you and your husband brought that back
Absolutely.
40 years ago.
But that the historic New Orleans Tribune was also that was inspiration.
Mhm.
That was we were aware of it, aware of the important role that had played
Mhm.
in the community at that point, and we wanted to fashion ourselves. We, as we say, we tipped our hat to what they were doing.
Absolutely.
And saw a lot of comparisons of Black Physician was the publisher of that, but their editorial stances, those things that they took to support,
Mhm.
we have tried to follow.
No, it's it's so important for folks to be able to get information.
Absolutely.
And so at the end of the day, I see you guys are getting ready to make a big transition. And so you want to share with us a little bit about what's next for the New Orleans Tribune?
Well, I would like to begin with what's in the past. Where we
Absolutely.
are
No,
right
there's a
now.
beautiful
It's
legacy.
40 years.
Absolutely.
And when I sit here today, coming here on my way here, it's hard for me to believe that it's been 40 years since we took out our pens and paper and opened the doors to the New Orleans Tribune. We take pride in what we've done.
Absolutely.
We felt that there was a great vacuum in the marketplace for a voice, an unfettered voice. And that's what we had tried to be for this community as it relates to the issues affecting us, the things that we were involved in. There was so much that we wanted to share with our community. 40 years later, though, what we have found is everyone knows that the face of media, not just with the New Orleans Tribune, not with Black media, has changed across the board.
Absolutely.
And after all these many years, a lot of people are not getting print.
Yeah.
People are relying on the electronic media, their phones, their computers. And so that has changed the whole face of media. I think there are over 2,000 papers they said that had closed. Not Black papers, of course, but across the across the landscape, across the country, in the last 10, 15 years. So we just see that it's time for us to jump in. I'm very saddened because although there are young people like you all who would roll with this, pushing it on your computer or getting the news on your phone, I'm still of the era where I like to curl up with a newspaper and read it and feel it.
Same.
But at any rate, here we are.
Yep.
And
So going digital, digital only. How does that change things for the coverage that folks have relied on for 40 years? Does that change your advertising model, your marketing? I mean, what are some of the things that are changing that readers might or might not notice?
Well, they will notice the whole format is different. I think that we started out started out with a monthly publishing schedule so that we could, opposed to the weekly publishing schedule, we could be kind of quasi magazine, that we could go more in depth to stories, that we could give more coverage. So that's what we were trying to do with what we have done. It's different. It's going to be different. And again, I think that's bad. I'm not certain that all of this is good. All of these changes are good. You can't go in. You can't go to depth. You can't give them many statistics.
Right, the data.
The supporting data. So it's going to change the way we get our news, what is presented to people. So it's a big question mark in my mind about this.
But you're not stopping.
Oh, no, we aren't stopping. And we will still be there. People have liked us to say And we're proud of that we're a voice that they can depend on.
Somebody's got to say it.
Somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to say it. And, that is a posture that we had adopted early on because of advertising. As you all must be aware here, you don't have to tell me, that the Black-owned media does not get the advertising that the white-owned media gets. Despite the fact that we dominate in the marketplace. Percentage of the population is up here, but we don't get it. So after a couple years, we said, wow, it doesn't matter. They freed us. So we were able to be the voice.
Right.
They weren't going to advertise anyway.
Right.
So we were the voice, and we were happy to step in.
Awesome.
Well, joining us now is your longtime editor, editor extraordinaire.
Oh, isn't she
extraordinaire,
wonderful? Right.
Anitra Brown. Welcome to the Good Morning Show, Anitra.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for waiting. I know I'm a little late, but I couldn't find my phone, and I realized I left it in my car, so I had to come out.
These things happen. The other day, I left my glasses.
Wow.
Yeah. Gotta have
I get it. I get it. So we're talking about the next steps, the New Orleans Tribune's long legacy, how so important to the Black community in so many ways, voicing things that others wouldn't, voicing things that some did, but not in the way with the power and the depth that the New Orleans Tribune has. And now you're going digital. And you are the editor, so tell us about your thoughts about the content as you go digital only.
Sure. I think I came in and you guys were asking about some of the things that we're going to see change. I think what's more important is some of the things that are just going to stay the same. As Ms. McKenna was saying, we are going to be the same voice that is going to be straightforward, clear, unapologetic, unfettered, speaking to, for, and about the issues that impact Black New Orleans. What we're, going to see, of course, is, and we're moving and gearing up to that because we were in our print form a monthly. People were always, of course, looking for that issue to hit the streets, and so what we are moving towards doing is just to have more content more frequently, and so that people know where to find us already. I mean, we've been online for the better part of 20 years, so they know where to find us. It's just getting more people to come and find us in these digital spaces. So the website, Facebook, Instagram, but we're that same voice, and I think that's the most important thing. We're the same voice.
Great. Now, one of the things that a number of folks have relied on, in addition to the New Orleans Tribune, is those wonderful guides that you produce.
And we will still be putting the welcome guide. That is still going to remain. It's an annual product. Of course, then we have the accompanying website, but that is still going to remain an annual print product. We will still be putting welcome.
The thrust of the welcome guide that you're referring to it's meant to foster economic development in the Black community. And that's been one of our major thrusts. One of the main things we think economic development is so important. Such an important message for our community. So we started publishing that booklet 20 plus years ago. Even we're 40, but 20 years to give visibility to small Black businesses, and then to get the booklet out there, so to encourage people to bring their dollars back into our community. As we always say, nobody's going to help us but us, or we're going to, and so we have to support ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, both my wife and I keep it in the car.
Oh, you do great.
Yeah, and inside.
So that's kind of like the Green Book.
And I have extras.
Wonderful.
Because when somebody's like, I don't know where to eat or what do you do, I'm just like, here.
Right.
That's great.
And I have encouraged rideshare drivers.
Oh, absolutely great. We'll get it.
To say, I know you talk with those who want to talk, and a lot of them do talk, but some of them, they just want their quiet time, or they want to be on a call, talking to whoever,
Mm-hmm.
but a number of them asked, "Where can I go?"
Absolutely.
Keep the book in your car.
And that's one of the things that inspired us to print that. I'm old enough to remember as a little girl driving cross country with my parents, following the Green Book to tell you where you could go,
And
because
where it was safe for African
where it was safe
Americans.
to go. So we're happy. We'll drop a couple boxes with you with the next issue.
Hey, don't make them too big. but I'd be happy to get more, because I just feel like that's a part of what I can do.
Absolutely.
I mean, you didn't even know I'm doing that.
No, but that's great.
But-
And that's the
but
point
I-
of it, that we
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Okay.
And I make a point to give it to non-black people.
Yeah, that's good too.
Very important.
Okay. Anitra, are you there? Okay.
Yep.
So as we move forward as you move forward with the New Orleans Tribune for us online, you're still going to have Somebody's Got to Say It.
Absolutely.
You're still going to have editorial.
Absolutely.
You're still going to have coverage of our community from our community's lens and focus.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm
Oh.
happy to have my little piece of platform in the big daily, but I am one voice, and I remind people about that all the time, that I am one black man's voice in the paper and online. Happy to be that, but I don't want you to only read mine. I want you to read a diversity of perspectives, and I want you to read a diversity of news publications, and I want you to read a diversity of black opinion and black reportage, because it's more important. And so I think New Orleans Tribune should be a regular part of people's diet. And, or a news diet, so that they're reading something else.
Absolutely.
I mean, I read it sometimes, and it's like, I wish I had said that.
No, I think the role you play, the space you occupy, being with the Major Daily and here at BOK, is so very important, because you bridge a gap. You bring sometimes opposing opinions together, and so that's very important. I think it's important that BOK is here, and that we need places where we can come together and give that unified black voice.
So how are you and your husband feeling about this significant pivot into the digital world, being of the age and stage that you are, and how you like to have your news, but recognizing what's happened in the market and moving into this new world? Meanwhile, we got Anitra back on the line.
Please.
Welcome back, Anitra.
Thank
so,
you. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I just asked Beverly a question. She's going to answer that, and feel free to chime in.
Oh, how do we feel about it? I feel sad. I feel sad that we've come to this point. Establishing the paper 40 years ago, you can't imagine. We were youngsters, a lot of courage, and we were going to do it, and we weren't going to let the white press take over and feed this to our community. Hey, we can do that.
Right.
And we did it. And we did it quite successfully. I remember us out after we wrote and, laid out and designed, that Dwight and I would be out delivering the papers as well. So that's from whence we have come.
Right.
And we're here now at this point. And of course, we understand that you have to move with the times. And times are changing. So we don't ever want to get locked in to something of the past. So we would like to, again, bridge that gap. As we transition to the electronic stage. Now you can talk to Anitra, since she's the youngster of the of the triumvirate.
Let's not go that far. I cut my teeth as a young journalist in print, newspapers, magazines, and so there's certainly a sadness when you decide that this print product is, you know, you're going to move away from that and go all digital. I am also in a position where I have a 25-year-old daughter, right? I look at her friends, they don't know what a newspaper is. That little thing that we hold in our hands is where they get all of their news and information. And so while certainly there is a sadness, a certain, you know, difficulty in letting go of those things that are so familiar to us, the reality is, and I got the early 90s. So let me say that early 90s, I got into the business of print journalism. That is when I became a working reporter. And it was unfortunately, it was beginning to die even then. And so that's just a reality that sets in, and we have to move forward. But the New Orleans Tribune is still here. It's just here in a different format. And we have to move with the times. We have to go where people are getting their news and their information, you know, and where it makes sense in terms of resources and time and getting things to people as quickly as possible. And this space is not new for us. I mean, we've been online for 20 plus years. It's just deciding to corral the resources and focus there. This is not a new space for us. And so we're going to be doing the things we've always done, just kind of ramping them up. You know, we've been doing, I believe we were one of the first, you know, to start doing on live Facebook interviews with political candidates, you know, many years ago. So we've been doing this. We've been in this space. It's just about us saying, okay, let's look at where this business of giving people news and information is going and how we best fit in that space. And so while there is a certain, you know, nostalgia and a sadness maybe, there's also excitement about how we can do what we do even better, even more efficiently. So that's what I'm excited about.
All right, we're going to move to a break. You're listening to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK. I'm Will Sutton with Ashley Shelton. We have Beverly McKenna and Anitra Brown from the New Orleans Tribune talking about their move to digital only for their news coverage. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we've got a caller who wants to have some thoughts about the New Orleans Tribune. We'll hear from former Councilman Albert right after the break. The talk line is 504-582-9422. You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 12:30 a.m. every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 12:30 a.m. or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of wills, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Life Care provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, value and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton with Ashley Shelton, and we've got Beverly McKenna and Anitra Brown from the New Orleans Tribune. We've been talking about their big news of going print less and digital only, but keeping up the advocacy and the coverage that they have provided for a long time. We're going to go to the phone line and hear from former Councilman Oliver Thomas. Good morning, OT.
Yeah, good morning. First of all, we want to thank the McKennas and Anitra for their service. It's definitely been a labor of love and commitment to our community and the sacrifices that they've made. When you talk about objective journalism and really being fair, but being unapologetic about highlighting the struggles and the triumphs, the successes and the failures of the African-American community, very few people have been better, and it's cost them. They haven't tried to dance the line of being nice to the king and queen makers versus advocating for our people. So thank y'all for what y'all do. You definitely need it. And as well as the effort by them in the black press to several years ago with Roland Martin and Wendell Pierce and others to highlight the fact that less than 1% of advertising dollars go to black periodicals, black media. So thank y'all for what y'all do. Y'all have definitely benefited me in terms of policy and advocacy and professionalism. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a blessed day, my brother. So that was nice.
That's right. And that makes you feel good.
And that's a part of why we've done it for 4 years.
Absolutely. And that makes me feel good that the sacrifices, even on a strict budget, no money, many times out of pocket, it makes you know that it was all worthwhile.
Yep. Well, Anitra, you got some closing thoughts that our WBOK family of listeners might want to know about the New Orleans Tribune and what you're doing.
Here.
We got just about 1 minute.
Sure, we're still here. Follow us at www.theneworleanstribune.com, Facebook, The New Orleans Tribune, Instagram, The New Orleans Tribune, X, formerly known as Twitter, NO Tribune. That's where we are where you are. Follow us. Click that button when you go to the website and join our mailing list.
All right. Sounds good. And let me just say, it's worth it to stay up and at it because they were woke before other people were woke. And woke is not a bad word.
No,
no matter what some other people trying to say.
We need more people to wake up.
Pay attention to the woke New Orleans Tribune.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Anitra. We are going to wrap up this day's Good Morning Show. Ashley, what a wonderful show.
Yeah, no, I always glad to be here.
Thank you.
So I appreciate it. Have a blessed day, Anitra.
Thank you.
Yep. And folks, we had a great conversation with Troy Carter. We talked about what's happening with the Good case, and now another shooting in Minneapolis, the FCC. And we also talked about what the heck was going on with Verizon yesterday, and they outed for more than 1 million people.
Yep.
And we talked about the special election. Do not forget the special election.
February 7th.
Every day here, as long as the Lord wakes me up and gets me here, I'm going to say something about the special election because these are important seats and important decisions. Happy for the people who have moved into other roles. But now, who's going to step up and who are you going to choose? It's going to be up to you. Coming up next is The Front Porch with Graylin and Kemba. So stay tuned for that. Jot this number down and give them a call. 504-582-9422. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about
all day long.